Welcome, everybody, and this is going to be a nice little sultry ASMR episode of Comically Offensive. I don't know what episode number it is because we didn't talk about it ahead of time. 18. I was going to say 18, but, you know. How y'all doing out there on the airwaves?
Ooh, I'm doing so well. How fascinating.
If you can't see this, but my breasts are out.
I am not wearing a shirt, that's for sure.
Anyway. My favorite part about this is no one got to hear it, but Connor's like, "Oh, I've got a good idea for the intro this week, guys."
What I said was, and it's not fucking stupid. I actually thought of something ahead of time instead of just going.
That's even worse.
Instead of going, hey, what's up?
All I want to do is talk about how my breasts are out now.
Introduce you guys.
Anyways, it's Comically Offensive, episode 18. And I'm Connor, and with me I have Jacob.
Hello.
Austin.
Howdy.
And a very special guest, Max Krumke.
Oh, hello, nice to meet you. It's me, Max. I'm calling from my personal estate, and I'm just so thankful to be here.
It's very reminiscent of the first time that we met.
Link to Max's Patreon will be in the description.
What if I
could? He does tier
it's
1
actually
is
going to
nudes.
be a link to our Patreon.
You know what? If I could get a boob job and really do it up, I would. I'm mad that I can't.
I mean
maybe
America.
I could, but it's a different. That would be a different sort of thing. You know, maybe it's something that we're ready for in America. Maybe it's something that we need, but I just.
It's the latest social requirement.
Yeah, what if you had a chubby gay with gigantic tits? That'd be interesting.
Sometimes you just gotta ask those questions.
That's what I'm there for.
So tell us a bit about yourself, Max. How do we all know you?
I don't know any of you people. I'm terrified. No, we all met randomly through me doing through Grindr, and then through Boy Ahoy, and then through Scruff. You can make your determination on which one was from which one. But
I'm learning so much.
Well, yeah. And I met y'all through Let's Gay, the worst stream on the internet. Shout out.
Always on time.
That's never on time and is barely a stream in the coherent sense, has no sense of branding, and is somehow perfect just that way, and we're never going to change it.
No, the branding is Lisa Frank.
Yes.
That's what the brand is.
You know,
when's the Lisa Frank sponsorship coming through? We're trying to get Puma Disc to sponsor us.
People were like, you can't use Lisa Frank on there. You can't stream from the studio that you work at. And we really proved them wrong, didn't we? For just years.
Look at us now.
For quite some time.
And you know what? If you're not aiming for the biggest views or the craziest pranks on YouTube or whatever, then you just get to hang out with your friends and nobody gives a shit.
Sometimes someone might do a roll onto a couch. That's pretty cool.
I can't wait till we do I can't wait till we turn Comically Offensive into a prank channel.
Prank ya!
Well, it's not pranks anymore. Now it's social experiments. It's the same exact thing. But you just say it's a social experiment.
Yeah, that way you don't get beat up for doing it.
Jacob's prank is just going to be him going several days without sleeping, going, pranked ya.
My whole life is a social experiment.
Yeah, I want to apologize to the audience in advance because this is the latest episode of the Comically Offensive podcast that we've ever recorded.
It's 11:30.
It is in Texas time. It's, I don't know, my phone's not showing it up. It's fucking 1:30.
Yeah, it's 1:30, but in Cali, it's only 11:30.
It's a Cali 11.
That's what really matters.
So, I mean, we're kind of like West Coast over here, right? Or something. I don't know. I'm always fucking late.
Holla at you, West Coast
eventually,
boys.
Here's the thing. Eventually, they're not going to matter because their continent's going to break off and go into the Pacific.
And then will it rejoin and then we'll become part of Pangea?
It's only going to be another couple billion years.
Yeah, my life is just racing to see whether I die from my habits or from California just dying. I'm just seeing which happened first.
It really is a race. That is true.
Yeah.
So Jacob, tell us what you've been eating today.
Oh God.
Well, I started my day off with like a nice bowl of instant ramen. You know, how to get those
sodium intake,
filling calories.
Yeah.
And all those vitamins. After that, didn't eat anything. Went shopping and then.
Oh, good.
I had an idea recently. I was thinking like, you know, there are root beer floats. I've seen some other types of soda floats.
Yeah.
But I've never seen an energy drink float.
Why?
For good reason.
Why would you do that?
You know,
Because they don't exist, because somebody's already tried it and they were not loving it.
yeah. So I was at the store. They had 3 for $5 energy drinks. Rockstar is what I drink. And then they had...
Because he's a brand boy.
Yeah. I had a coupon for ice cream. I was like, you know what? Let's do this. So I bought myself some Rockstars. Bought my ice cream, which is Ben & Jerry's oat of this world.
Oh, God damn it. Why did you not just go with...
ice creams to buy?
Just not vanilla? I've never seen that.
The store literally didn't have vanilla of the ice cream I had a coupon for.
And so you decided to like lean into oblivion and get an oatmeal ice cream? What was the thought process behind that?
It was a whole
Just fucking
$1
spend
off.
the extra $3.
No, it was only $1.
Oh, a whole $1?
Yeah. Listen, I gotta save money.
Dude, just walk around on the streets for a bit. You'll find fucking 4 quarters.
So,
also, here's the thought.
Got home.
Maybe just don't buy comics.
Excuse me, I'm telling a story. Got home, hadn't eaten since like my breakfast ramen. Drank one energy drink. You know, it was going well. Played some PUBG with Colton. Shout out, friend of the show.
Wait, can you clarify what going well means exactly in your terms?
I wasn't dead.
Okay, fair enough.
Like, I got 2 kills in our PUBG game. You know?
Nice.
Well, there you go.
That's success.
So after that, I was like, all right, it's happening. Let's do this. Got out my ice cream. Got out my second energy drink. Poured them together. And see, actually, that's a lie. So what had happened is I got my ice cream out, and then about 20 minutes later, I was like, oh yeah, I got the ice cream out. So by the time it got into my cup, it was like 70% melted.
Jacob.
And I was like, you know, I don't want to refreeze it because that's just gross.
What?
Is it really?
Oh, that's where you draw the line?
Yeah.
That's
where I draw the line.
The fucking line.
Refreezing my ice cream, that's... Nope, not happening.
So in my cup...
I'm not a monster.
It was like 50% liquid ice cream, 20% solid ice cream, and then the rest was energy drink.
So you had a solid... Okay, wow, okay.
To give a bit of context, oat of this world is
No.
brown sugar flavored ice cream,
Christ.
fudge flakes, and then like oat cinnamon cookie swirls.
A perfect flavor profile to match a Monster energy drink.
Yeah, and the energy drink is like all citrusy and sour.
Oh,
You're a
So
fucking
as you
dude.
can imagine, I'm
did you ever stop to be
doing
like?
pretty well.
Did you ever stop to be like, wait, why has nobody made a sour milk drink before? Like, it's almost like those two flavors are diametrically opposed.
Listen, you're not gonna start any trends playing it safe.
That's true. Look at Kanye West, my friend.
Yeah, make America great again.
Oh no!
I'm gonna make ice cream floats great again, okay?
I'm not gonna lie. I thought about...
Yeah?
This isn't the same story, so we can talk about it.
Okay.
Max said as a joke about him on the ranch saying that if I wanted to, I could put on a Make America Great Again hat, pull out a gun and shoot one of my cats in the head. And I don't know why, but I still think it's really funny.
No, we were talking about how you can make it famous in social media today. And to be honest, if you don't have any sort of morality or self-worth, you could absolutely just do it. And so I could just pop on one of those caps, pull out a fucking gun, just fucking plow down one of your faves that you've been watching on those cow stories that I've been posting to Instagram. And that's just that. And then they'd fucking write like articles being like, he's a brave American warrior that we've needed. And I'd be like, yes, that is me. Everybody knows.
I'm just picturing Max throwing a fucking cap on and shooting a cow point blank.
Oh, and here's the deal. If I put on any sort of baseball cap, but especially a MAGA hat, I will look like your uncle on vacation.
Oh,
like,
hell yeah.
It is... I have a very weird sized head, and it's very weirdly shaped. And for some reason, as a result, whenever I've ever tried to wear a baseball hat, it looks like American on vacation, but doesn't, like baby boomer American on vacation, doesn't give a shit about you or anything that you do. So
I mean, at that point, you're like already there in the cow killing territory. Might as well just do it.
I mean,
I just want to see Max with the cargo shorts and the Hawaiian shirt.
You know,
that doesn't sound too different from what I already seen.
I'm sure there are pictures.
You know,
out there
that is 100% what my dad wears. So
looks like he runs in the family.
One day,
he actually wears Hawaiian shirts all the time. So
hell yeah,
Hey,
and he has a mustache. So I'm basically slowly becoming him.
yeah.
It'll just be a matter of time.
And this is when the podcast turns to become more of like a therapy session. So,
And you know what the deal is?
I have something that I think can change the mood of the podcast.
oh yeah. Well, hold on. I want to hear Max's thing first.
yeah. What does Max have a deal with?
Oh, I was just gonna
What's the
fucking
deal?
try on some bullshit bit. I was just gonna be like, okay, everybody, let's talk about all of my woes. I don't know. Fuck it. Continue. You don't even listen to it. Sometimes you try something and then it doesn't work. Abort. Let's get out of here.
It's okay, Max. Here's the thing.
Oh no.
3 people are gonna watch this, so it's all good.
Yeah.
I know my fingers.
Anyways,
All right, what were you saying, Jacob?
yeah. What the fuck
Hell
is
yeah!
that?
Time for my third energy drink.
Oh,
You fucking animal.
Oh no.
you're
Jacob.
gonna fucking die.
You know what? We actually might get quite a few.
Here's
views
some
because
more,
when people die in the middle of a video,
Some more ASMR for you guys.
Oh.
I can't hear it, but I'm sure it'll come across in the recording.
You like the way that comes across, guys?
What's
Nice and sultry.
Ugh.
Oh. Are we going ASMR again? Do we want to talk in the ASMR area?
Give it to me, Big Daddy.
I think I kind of
No,
ruined
you don't.
energy drinks for myself tonight.
Tell me about it
I think you ruined energy drinks for the rest of us.
You know what? I've never had a fucking energy drink because I don't like fruit. I don't like fruit. And it's very ironic.
That's the thing that we need to talk about.
I'll be honest, Max. As someone who's drank a couple, nothing about that is fruit.
Yep.
Well, here's the deal. It's purely mental. It has nothing to do with actual reality. It has literally been something since I've been a kid. I do not like fruit, but that being said, tomatoes, avocados, pumpkins, coconut, totally fine. But if you asked me to eat a fucking banana or a fucking apple or an orange, or like squirt an orange into like something that I have to drink, I would literally throw up.
Something about that just sounded so gross to me.
So you like all the hipster fruit, is what I'm hearing.
Well, here's the deal: is I didn't know it was fruit, and this is purely a mental thing. It has no basis in reality. There's no rationalization for it. It is literally just being completely insane. And then also, like, my husband was like, "Oh, well, you eat coconut. Is it because you thought it was a nut and not a fruit?" And I was like, "Correct."
Get that nut.
I just had to get that nut, y'all.
Yeah, an energy drink. Energy drinks taste like what you would expect electricity to taste like, but sour.
See,
It's
and
like
that's
electricity
like,
and
That's
pee.
the best way I could describe it.
but it's
against that
citrusy. It's citrusy, right?
Yeah. Well, it has citric acid in it.
It depends on the type.
But like, I feel like it's like
I'm talking about like a Monster energy drink.
Yeah.
If it's citrusy, then I feel like I'd be like just against it because I've never had a glass of lemonade. Like it would creep me the fuck out.
You are an insane person.
See, that's what you need to complete your MAGA look. You need to get like a glass of lemonade or sweet tea.
A glass of lemonade on the front porch with your MAGA hat.
Sweet tea, but no lemon.
I started drinking energy drinks in 6th grade.
You're gonna die at 30.
I mean, I hope so.
Implying he'll make it that far.
You're doing the reverse of like, you remember how the Grinch Stole Christmas when his heart just keeps on growing bigger? Yours is like slowly withering away.
And instead of the heart, can I just do that for every other organ?
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Why do you want the rest of your organs to be big?
He's just thinking about what's in his pants.
I know, but like that, that also includes like your lungs and your tongue. I mean tongues.
Your tongues, all of them,
both of
all
them.
5 of them. We know
Listen.
that. What if the
Today
Grinch?
Austin learns 2 tongues isn't normal.
Listen.
What about the Grinch?
What if the Grinch, instead of his heart growing bigger, his dick grew bigger?
I mean, it would have the same effect, right? He'd start being a lot happier.
Here's the thing, though. The problem I have with that is that the only people he met through that story was a dog and some kids. So, nothing about that.
Oh boy.
Yeah, that would make
it would not
for
be a Dr.
very
Seuss book, that's for
different
sure.
Oh.
Yeah.
That would be the Grinch would have to send the same flyer that Colton got in his house. Shout out to Colton about the sex offender, where I was surprised by how many
He's like,
details.
yeah, I know that's me.
No, they literally like whenever we got the sex offender notice, like at his apartment, it was just like all of the things, like every single thing, like height, weight, what he did, where he's going, how many years he served. Like here we go,
He
here we
likes
go.
long walks on the beach.
And 14-year-olds.
I was gonna make the same joke, Connor.
He's really into anime.
No.
Oh, no.
How dare you disgrace this art form?
So, Connor
Guys,
and I,
she's 1,400 years old.
Yeah.
She just looks like she's 10.
Connor and I the other day had like a very brief discussion about that, where it's like, there's that trope in anime where it's like, okay, she's 1,400 years old, but she looks like she's 13.
Yeah, it's not my favorite thing, that's for sure.
Yeah, it's like, okay.
Yeah, it's not great.
And I brought up how Ariana Grande is like that in real life.
We did talk about that.
Yeah.
Oh my god. Well,
She doesn't look like an adult.
You know who
I should see that.
Is she still dating Mac Miller?
Great. Now our
I never-
Ariana Grande sponsorship is gonna fall through.
Hey, she licked those
Question,
donuts.
who's Mac
She licked those
Miller?
donuts. No, I don't want her sponsorship. She licked those fucking donuts. How dare she?
Who's Mac Miller?
Mac Miller? He's like a Pittsburgh rapper.
Okay.
Yeah, so no one of
If you
importance.
don't know him, I can't really. He hasn't really had a big radio hit in quite a while.
Okay.
Oh, it's like that dog video I showed you earlier, Raptor or Austin. Sorry.
Yeah.
So to explain this dog video,
Fucking know me for 3 years. You still call me Raptor.
I still do it too. Come on.
it's like it's just frustrating.
Look, you and Voltage are the only
And
people that
listen,
we still do this to.
You can't blame me for anything I do tonight.
That's true.
That's
Just
true.
saying.
Also, Connor, in my defense, Voltage just needs to like suck it up and legally change his name to Voltage at this point.
Yeah.
I'm okay with that.
So,
agree.
No one calls him anything else.
Yeah, I found this dog video earlier on Reddit,
Oh boy,
and it's called like "Do you like your new toy?" or something.
I don't like where this
And
is going.
this woman goes up to her dog.
Oh,
I think it was a Shiba.
I think it
She's
was
like,
like Shiba
"Do
or
you like
Husky
your
or
new
something."
toy?"
Yeah.
And the dog's chewing on the toy and it's making some squeaks, and then it just looks up and like screams at her.
It's the weirdest scream
And so-
ever. Oh,
Yeah, so that version of the video is like, oh, this is great, I love it.
yeah.
And then I found the original version of it, which is like half a second longer. And so the extra half second just makes it so much better. Because the dog screams, and then there's like a pause, and she's just like, all right.
yeah, that's the one that I saw.
My favorite part about the video is you can tell by the tone of her voice that he's done it multiple times.
Yeah, it's not the first time.
It's
like
so
that's
good.
a common occurrence in that household. That dog going
like, okay.
Well, have y'all seen that? Have y'all seen that Vine of that dog that the one where it's like she's like screaming at like I think it's a basset hound and she's like, the power of Christ compels you.
Oh, yeah.
And he's like, oh!
That's so good. I love it.
I just heard something fall. I hope Skittles didn't knock all the dinosaurs off my desk.
Or could it be ghosts?
A sentence that
he has them like. He has like 300 dinosaur toys all on that.
It covers his floor.
I don't. I'll put it. Hold on.
It's
I'll
250. Okay.
Yeah, it's not 3 hours ago. It was only 2.5 hours ago.
Man,
Connor, it works different because it's you.
this week has been one of those weeks where it's like,
It's been pretty
are we
fucked.
even in the real world anymore?
Honestly.
It's been a real bear. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
It's been a real bear. And not the
So-
kind that I like to invite to the bathhouse, am I right?
Yeah, you're right, boy. Yeah, you're right.
a few
course.
things that have happened.
There's my dinosaurs.
The Golden State Killer got arrested after like 30-something years.
Fucking crazy. Which
Which
Jacob,
I
do you wanna
barely
explain
know
to
anything about that.
Do you want to explain
Yeah,
it real
I'm
quick,
like-
Jacob?
I'm like hugely into all that serial killer stuff, which kind of sounds weird saying it out loud.
Which is
Your dad?
which
So-
wait before you start, like only in the last month did I see like there's this entire show dedicated to the capturing of him on HLN.
Yeah, it was. So I'll give a brief
Wait, do
explanation.
you have a subscription to HLN? Just like let's.
No,
Are
no,
we-
but
are we-
my parents like to watch that kind of stuff sometimes.
I was just checking. Didn't know.
Yeah, no, I'm not a
So-
huge HLN guy
yeah.
myself, but you know.
When I make a fist and clench my thumb against my pointer finger, it really hurts my forearm.
That's not good.
See, you're talking about me having a stroke or something, but it's gonna be you.
It's
It's like genuine pain.
Oh boy.
Go to the hospital.
I'm gonna just cut my arm off.
That's fine.
So anyway,
yeah. Yes, Golden State Killer.
I'll just he has like 6 different names that the media have given him.
Yeah, like original.
He was his
serial
original
rapist
name
or
was
something
the
like
Gangster.
Oh, what was it the Visalia Ravager or something like that?
Wait, he was in.
I thought
Jesus
he was
Christ.
in Visalia, dude. That's like a half an hour
Yeah.
away from me.
Yeah.
Oh,
I thought the best
So-
one was the honky tonk sneaker. That was actually pretty cool.
That's actually the
The Visalia
title.
Ravager sounds like a secret boss in
No,
Skyrim.
I don't think that was it. It was
No, it
Visalia
totally does.
something.
That's a Final Fantasy villain. I don't even know where Visalia is.
Visalia
Ravager
sorry.
is 100% a Final Fantasy village. Oh fuck!
Yeah.
I don't even know. Jesus.
Yeah, it was the Visalia Ransacker. That's what it was.
Oh, okay.
Oh, that's a lot less cool.
Yeah. No, wait,
Yeah.
what was
Still
his?
pretty cool.
So
Where does
what
Visalia?
he did in Visalia,
Anyhow.
But his other name is like the
Centralish.
original like park rapist.
original
or
Night
something?
Stalker.
Night Stalker. Okay.
So he was in Visalia. When he was in Visalia, he was
Hold
just,
up. What about California? Why am I getting the implication that there's more than one Night Stalker?
Well, he was the original.
There was the second one in the 80s.
What the fuck?
So
Why is there two?
Yeah,
He was in
there was
Visalia.
that movie, and they had like the car that talked and stuff. And
solid reference. So in
God damn it.
Visalia, all he was doing was like breaking into houses and stealing things. But it ended with him like killing someone.
Oh.
And then he moved to Sacramento. And then that's when he started raping people.
Well,
like, okay.
God damn it! I should have gotten
Cool.
in there. I was gonna make a joke before you got to the rape, and now it's just no fun.
yeah, now it's
Yeah,
it's too
so it's
serious.
I was like gonna make a Goldilocks thing or something. This is all just bad bits. I can't do anything here. Continue.
My favorite part about.
I'm sorry that these rapes inconvenienced you, Max.
You know,
Jacob brings up the guy's a rapist, and Max goes, "God damn it! I should have gotten in there."
It's true. I was like, Max,
God
choose your words
damn it.
carefully now.
I was like, "Uh oh."
yeah.
Watch
well,
out, Colton's gonna get a flyer about you.
No shit.
Okay,
No,
so
I was gonna make a brilliant Goldilocks joke, but then it just turned real serious. It's a real downer.
It's too hot.
So
tends to do that.
Y'all.
in Sacramento,
God damn it!
over
That wasn't even where it was going, but Jesus. Okay, continue. I've
Jesus
worked myself
Christ.
into a hole. That's bad.
Yeah, so did he.
So did he.
I cannot.
Oh,
I
man.
cannot even with this.
So
Continue.
in Sacramento,
Cancel the podcast.
It's
Are
over.
you kidding?
It's over.
That was the
Oh,
exact
boy.
same time.
this is nothing like the Chelsea episode.
This is the complete opposite.
The Chelsea episode wasn't 1 in the fucking morning.
So, when he was there, they were like 50-something victims.
Yeah, there was a lot.
And, what was I going to say after that?
I'm not laughing about that. I'm still laughing about.
You just love the 50 victims.
I want everybody to know that
you're
I'm also
super
writing an
excited about
essay
that.
right now that's due in 9 minutes. I have an essay due in 9 minutes, and I have
Jesus
another
Christ.
100 words to
Fucking
write.
finish your essay.
Is it about the Golden State Killer?
No.
So,
Is it about the 50 victims?
when
No.
he was in Sacramento, he had victims like all around that area, and then in the East Bay. So he was also known as like the East Area
Area rapist,
Is that
I
what
think.
it was? Yeah,
Yeah, East Area Rapist sounds familiar.
yeah.
I think
'cause
that's like how he
the
got like his real.
yeah, the
big-
acronym is
big name.
EAR.
Yeah.
That's what it is.
Yikes!
So he has like 6 different names,
Yikes!
and it's like after that he moved down to like the LA.
If you string them all
Southern
together, do
California
you get
area.
like his Viking
Yeah, I think it was
name?
like Ventura
Started
or
killing
like San
people.
Bernardino or something. I know they're not
Yeah,
close
he had
together.
like 12 murder
I think it was
victims
one.
down there or something.
Yeah.
But then, like, all of his crimes suddenly stopped in, like, 80-something or something like that.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And he didn't have any victims since then, or at least that we know of. But he would still, like, call the previous victims and, like, threaten them over the phone.
Oh Jesus!
And he, like, called the police station in Sacramento. Is like, "You'll never catch me."
And this happened in like the early 2000s.
Yeah, like, he was calling for, like, 20 years after he did all these things.
Yeah. And like all of a sudden he just like called people and it was like, what the
Yeah.
fuck? He's still, out
And
there.
So like
Like-
Dexter, but not amicable or like interesting,
Yeah.
just like
Like,
disturbing.
just a creep.
Okay.
How'd they find him? Like
So-
what led them
I'm
to him?
getting to it.
It's build up. It's
So, like,
suspense.
all
Don't
these
tease
years-
us.
Yeah, all these years he's like, "You'll never catch me.
And then that's where we cut,
I'll-
and then it's
I'm
next
gonna
time on
start
Comically
killing my
Offensive.
victims," stuff like that. And you can actually listen to some of these recordings online. They're pretty creepy.
Ugh.
Ugh.
But then, like, the call stopped 15 years ago or something. And they just reopened the case, like, a year and a half ago. And
Hence
this
the
woman, I
HLN
forget her
show.
name. It was Patton Oswalt's wife.
Yeah.
She started writing a
What?
book about it.
Yeah.
She started writing a book about the East Area Rapist /
Yeah.
Golden State Killer / all these other things. She did like a ton of research, and it's actually very well put together and stuff.
Yeah, apparently she got obsessed with it.
Yeah. So the reason she died.
Okay, Patton also was like, yeah, we're talking about his deceased
Yeah.
wife.
His
Okay,
late
yeah.
wife, yeah.
The reason she died is because she was taking all these different drugs to try to like stay up long nights and keep writing this book.
Fuck, really? I
And
didn't
so
know
one
that
night
part.
she
Are
just
you
like
kidding
overdosed.
me?
I didn't know
Yeah.
that.
What fucking good did
Oh
that
my
do?
god, are you
Yeah, so
kidding
it's
me?
like it's like her death was because she was so obsessed with finding this killer.
What the
And then-
fuck?
Just recently, like since they've reopened the case, they had a sample of the DNA from the crime scenes, and they're like, you know what? Let's start spreading this around to other places and see if there's any connection we can find. And apparently, the link they found is to a family member of his that lives in Australia.
Family member who?
The killer.
Really?
Okay.
Yeah. So they made this connection, and then, like, they've been working for it for a couple weeks since then. And then one day they just went down to his house and were like, it was the 2 agents were there in their car in front of his yard. And they did the classic, like, oh, hey, we're lost and we need some directions. Can you come over and help us?
Wow.
And so that's how they arrested the guy.
Wow.
And apparently he's connected to like 170 different crimes or something.
Wow.
It's like,
This guy didn't fuck around.
nobody ever thought this guy would be caught, and it's so crazy.
Yeah.
What the fuck? Okay,
Man.
like, I feel
Insane.
like my brain doesn't have the capacity to do, like, backflips anymore. But, like, you telling the Patton Oswalt aspect of that, I was like,
Yeah.
oh my god. Is
And
that
it's like,
is that confirmed? Like, what the hell?
is what confirmed?
Like, the Patton Oswalt, like, wife was...
Oh yeah,
That
no,
was what's going on.
Yeah.
he tweeted about it, and he's like, "This one's for
Yeah.
you," you know.
Oh, wow.
He's-
Yeah,
He's
she was
straight
like
up, yeah.
obsessed with it.
That's insane.
It's the
Yeah.
connections. The connections just didn't stop.
Yeah.
I'd love to see like a whole documentary about that. And also, I don't think I mentioned this during the story, but during the time that he was committing these crimes, he was a police officer. And so it's like,
Yeah.
that explains so many things and how he got away with it for so long.
Oh. That's like... Isn't that literally the plot of Dexter? No, it's just
I mean,
his
it's
sister.
Pretty much.
Yikes. I mean, not like, I mean, I don't know how dark we're getting with this podcast, but it seems like it's fucking, what time is it now? Super fucking late. Let's get crazy.
Yeah.
Fucking 2 a.m.
But no, actually in Austin, a long time ago, I worked, as an editor on a documentary that never came out about the yogurt shop murders in Austin. Which was a really, like, it sounds super chill, but it was like super fucked up. And
Chill, because yogurt, I get it.
oh, Jesus Christ, I can't stop making
was a
terrible
stretch.
jokes. Still, but yeah, it was basically about like 4 girls that were murdered in a yogurt shop when they were closing up, and then just like what followed was like basically 20 or so years. I mean, honestly, on to present day of just like complete mismanagement. Like, yeah, just like they have no idea who fucking did it, like
I
at
was
all.
a vegan.
God damn it! But yeah, it was like I can understand how like Patton Oswalt's wife would get like sucked into that shit,
Yeah.
because like true crime, like especially when you're dealing with an unsolved case, it's just like you do get really attracted to like the details, and it's really, there's a lot of it where I was just like poring over and going like, what the hell? Because whenever I joined, it was a documentary about the 2 people like who had been in prison for 10 years, basically 20 years after the crime or after the murders had happened, and they picked them up 10 years later. They went to prison for 10 years, and then it turned out that they had both falsely confessed, and they had nothing to do with it. And that the police unit at the time, because Austin was a very small town, they just like forced them all to confess. It was absolutely insane. But
Crazy.
yeah, they got like 120 people to confess to the crime. So that should show you how well they were at it. But it's good to see that justice was served, though. That's insane.
Yeah.
Can't believe that many people committed the crime.
Yeah. God damn it.
The only thing I'll
I just
confess to is
it
loving
took
this yogurt.
It took a minute, and then I was like, oh no, it cracked up in the phone, and then I was like, oh, he was making a joke there. Got it. Okay. What else you got? What else you got on the news?
So that happened this week. I think I was at work when it happened. And so I was just, every few minutes I would check my phone and watch the live update as it was happening. Because I also lived in Sacramento for a while. And that's where he was arrested. It was like, so this is like 30 years after it happened too. And he was arrested like 3 miles from the hot spot of where his crimes were. It's crazy.
Yikes.
So
that's
that
insane.
Happened. What happened next?
What?
Well, there's the Kanye West thing.
Well, tell the part about the house. That's pretty cool.
What about the house that like I was near it?
I mean, that like you knew it.
Yeah. like the area, because I lived in Sacramento, the area I lived was pretty close to it, so I was like, oh yeah, I know the area. I've been there. It's pretty.
That just like blows my mind. I just be like, what the fuck? It feels like.
Also, my time in Sacramento was interesting. The day I moved back from Sacramento, there was a double homicide down the street from me. It's like, yeah, it's probably a good idea to get out of here. You know.
Guys, don't worry. I submitted my essay on time.
Hey.
Proud of you.
Now,
Very excited for that.
So then...
I'm sorry. So that's why I've been quiet for the past few minutes, because I was like, I have another 100 words to write, and it's due in 3 minutes.
I mean, I could hear you furiously typing away, yeah.
But you can mute my audio, which is the good thing, so...
Yeah.
Okay.
Well, before we get to the other stuff of the last week, did anybody have any warm fuzzies from last week? Just to give us a little boost after that incredibly disturbing and terrifying story.
My dog died.
Jesus Christ.
Jesus Christ.
Are you kidding me?
No,
we had to put her down.
That's why when you made that one joke earlier, Max, I was like,
Listen.
that kind of hits a little close to home right now.
Listen, if you can't joke about things, then what can you do?
Just live with it.
So,
I don't know.
Also, I'm starting to think that I have like this weird connection to serial killers and stuff like that.
Yeah.
Because
I want to hear more about this.
Do you guys know about Jaycee Dugard, or whatever, however you pronounce it?
No.
But I think you're becoming a character from a junior crime novel.
It's comically offensive.
God.
Is Comically Offensive a true crime podcast?
No, it's comedy.
Now it is.
Now it is.
Why do you think I started off with that one voice?
So Jaycee Dugard was, she was kidnapped like 1990 something.
Mm-hmm.
I think. Yeah, 1991. And everyone thought she was dead, and then like 18 years later, it turned out that she was like chained up in someone's backyard.
Whoa!
And that backyard she was chained up in is only like within 20 miles of where I live.
Oh, jeepers!
And it was like right when I moved here too, so I was like, "Oh, that's
See,
fun."
I don't think you have a connection to serial killers. I think you live in a shitty neighborhood.
No, wait. So this is something I just found out, like a new thing to my connection. Apparently, the town she was kidnapped in is Myers, California, and my last name is Meyer. And it's like, what?
I think Jacob's actually the killer of all of these things, but like he just doesn't know.
She's alive, I think.
Actually,
she's alive.
Cool.
Actually, I didn't want to say anything controversial on this podcast, but
here we go.
I feel like I need to actually admit, because I was born in 1989 and she was kidnapped in 1991. I actually did that.
Oh man,
it was.
You're like...
I was an not late bloomer, the opposite of it, early bloomer. I've had alcohol. Hello, everybody. This is a bad bit. Continue.
You are like a child prodigy. Okay, so
interesting use of the word prodigy.
My other connection to serial killers is that, do you guys know a bunch about the Zodiac Killer?
Not really.
Yeah,
he's like one of the
most the election.
All I know is he's Ted Cruz.
Yeah, he's our representative.
Your
so
representative, not mine.
One of his victims was a taxi driver, and that person was actually my grandfather's friend. And so it's like, I have all these connections. I'm like, what is happening?
You just live in a shit tier neighborhood, dude.
The thing
actually,
is that wasn't anywhere near where I live.
I mean, yeah, but the others were.
And it's like, no.
Exception doesn't make the rule.
But here's the deal, is that if you actually look into it,
Coincidence.
like, no, not, well, I mean, coincidence, but also at the same time, there is a surprising amount of people doing some really fucked up shit all around, and it's, like, I don't know. I've had, like, my brush-ins, but, like, nothing, like, super...
walking down the street, serial killer meets you, what are you gonna do?
God, like, I'm trying to think, there's just been stories over the years that I just kind of, like, occasionally block out. I mean, I grew up in a nicer neighborhood and like North Austin, and like there was a murder suicide like a couple of blocks away from me, and then there was like it was a very specific brand of like there wasn't really like crime, but then whatever somebody snapped, they snapped hard. And like I remember there was this like one restaurant when I was growing up, and my parents were like, "Oh my gosh, we love this place." And then later I was like, "Oh, what happened to it?" And it was like, "Oh, murder suicide." And that was a separate murder suicide from the other murder suicide. But
good.
And actually, there was a sex slave ring that was busted up, like basically a block and a half away from where I grew up, and it was just like, what in the fuck? Like,
I think I heard about that one. Yeah,
it was weird. But yeah, I mean, I don't know. Like, whenever people like go fucking ape shit.
I actually have a kind of a weird connection. Sorry, I bumped my mic right now.
How dare you?
I know. But I mean, I'm not professional in any regard, so I have no standards. No,
I mean, or I could just edit that out and not talk about it.
Whatever, you know.
To be fair, he smashed it right when he was starting his sentence, so you can't.
I adjusted.
Smash that like button.
Smash that like button.
Yeah.
No, so
Smash that like, subscribe, Comically Offensive on YouTube.
You heard it here first, folks.
YouTube official endorsement by Let's Gay, the #1 most viewed channel on YouTube.
#1 most feared channel on YouTube.
But my uncle, he works for private companies that work with for the government with like technology and stuff, and he was in a soundproof room talking business for some reason in Oklahoma City during the bombing.
Oh shit!
Okay. And he felt in this soundproof room, like he couldn't hear anything outside of it, was like the room shook, and he's like, what is happening right now? Because that's not supposed to happen in any regards. And they're stuck in there for like a good couple minutes, I guess, and then he gets out and finds out that he was, just maybe a couple miles away from the bombing.
That's crazy.
So, and and then I think, actually, you know what? I think my other family members found out about it before he did, because he might have been stuck in that room. And so they were calling him, trying to get in touch with him, but they had no way of getting in touch with him because of cell phones and stuff. And
jeez.
Yeah, crazy, right?
Yikes.
That's my one weird connection.
Yeah.
I don't got any crazy murder stories.
This isn't really like a connection, but it's an interesting tidbit. I remember I was supposed to be a ring bearer at my cousin's wedding.
So you go from the Oklahoma City bombing to a wedding?
It was back in 2001.
Oh, God.
Oh.
So they live on the East Coast. So we're going to fly to New York. And had to cancel our flights because it was like September 15th or something, 2001.
You know what? I just figured out a way. Oh, God damn it. I can't explain the bits before I do them. I was going to say, fuck,
so here's
I
the
ruined
joke,
this all. Okay. Wow.
Max, we should just be like vigilante crime fighters.
We should just be what?
Like vigilante crime fighters. We should just be like the like local, like little Austin area, like I don't know, like shitty version of Batman.
I mean, he's not kidding though. He seriously thought about going out and looking after the Austin bomber.
Oh, that is. I guess that's my crime story. Me and one of my friends were 100% going to go hunt down the Austin bomber before he blew himself up.
Yeah.
And then
he did your job for you.
We were pretty upset because we wanted that $100,000.
No. no. That's 100% no.
He was very serious about it.
I was not remotely going. That was 100% my goal. I was like, we're gonna go in there. We're gonna look for evidence. We're gonna hunt this man down.
What could
Get her done.
what could be easier than one person scanning through a city of over a million people, just trying to find
two
anything?
people. We had it all planned.
Oh boy. No, I was just going to say, if anybody hasn't listened to Come From Away, it's a brilliant new Broadway musical that is not sponsoring this podcast about all the planes that had to land in Newfoundland whenever they closed the U.S. airspace. It's very emotional, and I loved it. End of ad read.
Shout out.
So since we read the ad, that means they have to give us a sponsorship, right?
Yeah, that's how it works.
I think so.
We'll just send them like, hey, give us money.
But
wink, wink, nudge, nudge.
I mean, I just feel like fucked up shit happens all over the goddamn place, and it's really weird.
And it's our job to stop it now.
And it's our job to stop it, and we're gonna all stop it now. We've gone from true crime to vigilante.
Apparently, like the year I was born, there was a woman kidnapped down the street from where I lived. I don't know if
you
she
were
was
born.
ever...
How'd you live there?
I don't know if she was ever found though.
Did you kidnap her when you got out of the womb?
Now that's a really early bird. That's a really,
I was very able.
Jacob just came out sprinting on all fours like one of the aliens.
Jeez.
He came out on a slip and slide.
It is creepy. If there isn't a scene in a horror film like that, we need one.
I was like that baby from what was it, like Trainspotting? Where there's a baby crawling on the roof.
Never seen.
I haven't seen Trainspotting.
I vaguely know what you're talking about.
It's like the most terrifying CG ever.
I don't like
more
it.
Terrifying than the Rock in the Scorpion King.
I was promised a raucous, edgy, offensive comedy Jib Jab, and we have really just fallen into the pit of hell, haven't we?
No. Yeah. This is the Jib Jab, man. This is that good old.
You're not allowed to say that word.
Can that be our first piece of comically offensive merch? This is the Jib Jab, man.
That's our tagline.
I can put a thing up on Redbubble.
Oh man, the Jib Jab Man is still a better horror movie title than the Bye Bye Man.
Oh my god! Did you see the poster where somebody put is it the Bye Bye Man, that fucking stupid ass movie?
Mm-hmm.
Somebody made
the worst name for a movie ever.
The Pee Pee Poo Poo Man.
I saw that.
Is that the new Kanye West song?
My favorite.
Go ahead.
My favorite one is.
Keep laughing. You won't.
My favorite one is they had the same edit of that poster where it was like, "Don't say it, don't think it," and it had that a million times on the poster because that's the tagline of that movie. And then at the bottom it just said the N-word.
Oh no!
It actually said it said N-word. It didn't say the actual word, but that was the best one for me.
My favorite one was it was keep laughing. You won't be laughing when he kills you. The Pee Pee Poo Poo Man.
I've seen that one. The Pee Pee Poo Poo Man.
That's so good.
Yeah.
Can we write those movies, all of them?
I mean, I've got a
the Jub Jub Man, the Pee Pee Poo Poo Man, and the N-word. That could be the trilogy.
Jeez.
I've got a very busy production timeline on my biggest project coming up.
All I'm hearing is excuses.
No, if I give you my pitch for my project, you'll actually agree with me that I need to spend all my time.
Is it a movie where you put on a MAGA hat and shoot a cow?
That would be phase 2. Phase 1.
Bloodfest 2.
No, no. My first series is very easy to produce. Could be animated, could be live action.
You gotta go animated.
And it's called. Well, it's whatever the market wants. Okay.
Oh, okay, gotcha.
And it's called Sluts with 3 Z's because they sleep in. And it's a story of Tammy, and Tammy, all spelled differently, who are 3 prostitutes who meet up after a long night of actually, working, and they're so tired. And so it's a 30-minute show, but the first 5 to 10 minutes is them catching up about their day, and then they just gradually fall asleep, and then the 20 to 25 minutes remaining are just them sleeping.
Now, I have a proposition for you, Max, and I want you to hear me out real quick, okay? I would like to play Tammy, and I require that when I fall asleep, I have a phone with my headphones, and I'm watching YouTube videos until I fall asleep, and that takes about 18 minutes. So
18.
So I need
18 minutes?
I need you to.
That's a lot of scripted content to come up with.
Well, here's the thing, though. That's the last 18 minutes. I'm done. I'm just watching YouTube videos on my phone.
I'm out of there.
I'm out. I'm there for the first 12. That's all you got to script me for. I'll be the first Tammy out.
ASMR.
I think that we can't go above 10, but this is something that I'm willing to negotiate. It's basically part of a larger content network because nobody's done it before, which means that it's going to work.
There we go.
So
that was it.
What I'm hearing is that you're pitching this idea, but the 3 of us are living it.
It's true. Comically Offensive is sluts with 3 Z's.
Can we make this autobiographical?
I mean, see, the thing is, I'm not really going to get much sleep anymore.
So you're the other Tammy that doesn't go to sleep.
Foreseeable future.
Because you've joined the devil with the Monster Energy drinks.
Excuse you, Rockstar.
I think he's just taking up the he's taking up the mantle, and he's going to become the next California murderer.
The only person I'm murdering is myself.
He's somehow going to combine the capabilities of... No, never mind. I don't want to make this joke.
Jib Jab Man?
No.
Can Jacob become the Jib Jab Man?
I like the joke I put in the chat, which was the Moo Moo Man.
The Moo Moo
California.
Man.
California girls, they're undeniable, fun, fresh, fierce. We've got it on top.
I'm more of a swish person.
God damn it! You didn't let me finish that goddamn bit. It was California Girls by Katy Perry.
I was gonna make it.
Yeah, we got it.
That's why I said swish.
Okay. I wasn't even paying attention. I was trying to do a bit. Okay. How do you feel about that?
Well, there's nothing.
There's
nothing
crazy thing that's happened this week.
New York.
Shut the fuck up, Connor.
So, going back to this podcast is fairly interestingly formatted. The kind of overarching thing is what happened this week, but then each different segment of what happened this week leads into 20 minutes of various stories.
Yeah, well, that's how a podcast should be.
Life is diverse.
So, talked about the Golden State Killer.
Yep.
Speaking of rapists, Bill Cosby.
Oh no!
No.
Really?
You got sentenced.
You want to go that way? Okay.
Well, I mean that's a big headline that happened.
It is. He got convicted for all accounts.
Yup. Found guilty.
Which is fucking insane.
No more pudding pops.
Did you guys see the thing when he was originally arrested a year ago or whatever? That was him being taken away by the police, and he just goes, "Hey!"
I did hear about that.
No,
I think I remember that.
No,
too.
that's not. That's not
so
real.
surreal.
I never saw it.
Is it real?
Yeah, I'll
Is
post
that real?
it.
Did that really happen?
Yeah.
Oh my god. Well, I saw I saw another news report that I was like, this can't be real, and it was basically an AP news report that was like, Bill Cosby launches into profanity-laced tirade against the prosecutor, and I was like, oh well, that's probably not reported accurately, and it was Associated Press, and I was like, oh fuck, shit, what the fuck. But I have nothing more to add on this situation, so I'm going to go walk quietly over to the the thing to get a beer. So I'll be intermittently ASMRing.
There you go.
It's just everything that's been going on for like even the past few years, but like it's just been heightened so much lately. It just feels like we're in a completely different timeline.
Yeah, they discovered the eating habits of a couple different dinosaurs. It was crazy.
Those dinosaurs are crazy.
Like,
I know,
right?
Welcome to the ASMR section.
I told you we'd get there, folks, and now's our time. Get ready to get your pants on.
Shut up, Connor. I almost just whispered for no
Jesus
reason.
Christ.
I was almost like, shut up, Connor.
This is what you get with ASMR, guys.
So, like, okay. But I think Austin said this, that it's like we're in a simulation right now, and it's just been running for way too long.
They haven't, like, rebooted it or anything.
Yeah.
I said that too on Twitter.
The system update, man.
I said that too on Twitter, but I've got to get this beer real quick.
I'll be honest.
I'm sure whatever Max is saying will come across great in the recording.
Yeah, it sounds like a
robot.
I'm pretty sure that this reality is when Thanos got the power gauntlet. Speaking of which...
It's called the Power Gauntlet?
What is it?
Infinity Gauntlet.
I don't fucking care. I saw the movie today and they didn't
Power
say the name
Gauntlet's
one time.
the fucking thing Nintendo released so you could play the game with your hand.
A wise man once said, Bill Cosby is innocent. That man's name was Kanye West.
You're really
shitty at transitions, dude.
This has been a rough week, and you're just punching us while we're down.
Listen, I am bringing the news to the people.
So speaking of Power Gauntlet, or Infinity Gauntlet, whatever you want to call it, I just saw Avengers.
Whatever you want to call it.
Connor just skipping over that Kanye talk.
Yeah, I'm just going to move past it.
Connor's trying to avoid it.
Listen, So, Kanye came back to Twitter recently. He'd been deactivated for a while.
He had quite the past week and a half.
It's like his usual album cycle. Whenever there's an album coming out, he'll start doing like ridiculous stuff to get attention.
Yeah.
And so he came back to Twitter, for a week or so. He was doing his usual, like, kind of out there, but still, like, fun philosophy type stuff.
Well, he also announced albums, too. And that was what got me most excited.
It was, like, philosophical ideas mixed in with some album announcements, stuff like that.
Yeah, it was mainly him trying to be like, everything's super fucking positive, man. Yeah, we're all about that positivity and love, like, bro.
Yeah, like... He started doing some, like, free thinking stuff. Like, hey, man, don't care about what other people think about you. Just do you. Type of stuff.
Don't be
Well, was that before or after?
This was, like, before, like, when he...
No, I'm talking about the Candace Owens.
The first time.
The Candace Owens thing. Whenever he was like, Candace Owens, I like the way she thinks.
Yeah, this
was that's a
couple days before that.
It's started getting more into that, like, right-wing
propaganda.
I don't know how to phrase this.
Oh, bump my mic.
But like most of the stuff he said, it's like, oh yeah, I can see why he thinks that. It's decent, fine, whatever.
Up until that part.
Just Kanye being Kanye. And then, like, he tweeted one thing that was like the typical red pill type thing.
Yes.
And I remember seeing that on the Donald Trump subreddit. And it's like, we got him, boys. Kanye got red pilled. It's like, oh boy. That was the beginning of I don't want to say the end, because, I'll still listen to his new album. Or albums.
Well, okay, so, like, one of the people that I follow on Twitter, I really like, the guy who made that game Night in the Woods.
Yeah.
He's really great on Twitter, and, like, he was basically like all of essentially the, like, whatever we call this, like alt-right or far-right or whatever it is, like, it's so mystifying to the rest of us but like that it's basically a self-help like group. Like that it's because like if you think about it, it makes sense because it's like they don't really have like a huge amount of ideology. It's all just like antithetical to everything. It's like trolling the libs, gotcha, bitch. And like realistically, like when you look at like Kanye's like weird, fucked up tweets, like it's all like love can overcome everything. I want you to love everybody, and it's harder to love everybody, but you should do it. And it's like, yeah, that's cool, but we also live in a world where, like, if you do give your love to everybody, unfortunately, there's a bunch of people who have preconceived notions of you based on your, you know, who you are as a person.
Like, I'm completely fine with someone saying the things that Kanye's been saying, but it's like, the thing I don't like, or there are a couple things I don't like, I'll get to that, but one of the main things is that most of what Trump does, like, completely disagree with things that Kanye has said.
Yeah.
I mean, yeah, this is the same person that said George Bush doesn't care about black people.
Yeah.
You know?
Well, so. I mean, it's this weird thing. It's the same thing where it's like, there's a lot of people, like whenever you look at the like Twitter feeds in the response to that, it's like, Donald Trump hasn't done anything racist. In fact, he's like lowered the unemployment for blacks. So you should be happy. And like the weirdest thing is, there's this other podcast called The Dollop that I listen to that like does a really great like historical summation of like all these different things. They don't normally do recent stuff, but they did an entire thing on Donald Trump, and it was absolutely fucking insane. The amount of like horrid racist shit that he was like getting into. And it was just like, I don't know. Like this was pre-election. This was just like the story of his life, you know? And it was just like, good Lord, like it sucks. It sucks. But at the same time, I think Kanye is just doing it because he wants attention.
Yeah, like, Kanye, he even stated on his Twitter, he was like, I don't agree with a lot of Trump stuff, but, like, the reason Kanye likes Trump is because he just states whatever he thinks.
He's a free thinker.
He's like, yeah, Trump's a free thinker, he doesn't let people tell him what to do, stuff like that.
Yeah, I remember when Shania did that, like, half a week back, and we all got mad at her.
But, like...
That don't impress me much.
I get why Kanye would like Trump for those reasons.
Because
like
he's a like megalomaniac.
They're fairly similar in their egotistical attitudes. But the thing is that like Kanye has to understand that him saying that he likes Trump for those reasons, all of these Trump fans are seeing that he likes Trump and they're putting their own logic onto it and like their own ideals. So now, like, the Kanye subreddit or, like, any of Kanye's tweets, all you see in the replies are just like, yeah, make America great again, screw liberals, stuff like that. So it's like...
Not to,
he's tweeting about how we should love everyone, but then all of his comments are, like, people being divided. It's like, okay, that kind of backfired.
But this is the same guy who said, Bill Cosby innocent, or I don't read books. I prefer to get information from other people. Yeah. And it's just kind of like, I think it's the classic question of separating the art from the artist. And like, I think that in a way it's cynical, and it was why we were talking about if I just like fucking put on a MAGA hat and fucking shoot a cow on my fucking ranch, probably be way better off in the long run. But like people who are cynical and who can prey on the public like this, it's like Kanye knows that liberals are going to buy his fucking thing, especially since he's given them an out, and at the same time he's inviting a whole bunch of like MAGA, you know, like super alt-right people who are like, oh, he's part of our team now, until after he releases his 2 albums, and then he's like, never mind, I don't care about that.
One of my favorite things to come out of this is after those tweets, Kane was trending on Twitter, like Kanye, but the Y was in front of the N, because there's so many like Trump fans trying to look up Kanye and just completely misspelling it.
Oh my god,
it's pretty amazing.
The simulation's absolutely breaking down, and
Yeah.
it's not
I'm
going
telling
great.
you.
It's fucking hilarious.
Like, this is... We're living in the world that is what happens when you don't apply your Windows update.
Mhm.
Yep.
And you just keep the computer running. Like, shit just starts to go wrong,
Yeah.
man. Programs are crashing.
100%.
Fucking System 32 is going to delete itself soon. Then we're all fucked.
Yeah. And so all that happened, and then today Kanye put out a new song that he hyped up a bit on Twitter.
Oh, God.
And that song is like a literal shitpost, and I kind of love it.
It is, and you know why? Because I didn't think about it at the time, but earlier in the day today, he was like, "Yo, Ebro, I'm dropping a new song tonight. Got those bars that you've been looking for. Gonna be talking about what you've been wanting me to talk about." And then he drops it, and then Jacob, if you want to take the reign.
It is so good. Like, it's like a minute of build up in the song.
It is. It's
About,
so
like,
like
lifting
the
up your spirits,
first minute
you
is
know?
literally just samples.
There's like
and
a
beat.
choir going on. The beat gets really good. And then Kanye, like, he starts talking. He's like, I'm about to bring in this super hot bar I got. Listen to this. That type of stuff. Like, he's hyping up
ready for
these
this bar.
bars that
Okay.
he's about to spit.
Get ready. Mm-hmm.
And then I wish I could just play it right now.
Do it.
But it doesn't work. Like, for some reason, the website, it won't work on my phone. So I have to listen to it on my desktop.
Let me see if it'll work on my phone.
All right. We can... It's worth...
Just edit it in.
Well, I want you and Max to hear it, too, because it's so odd.
I've not heard it.
Hold on, I'm pulling.
But so, like,
I'm
he's
pulling
like,
it up.
all right, listen to this.
I'm pulling it up.
And then he just goes like, scoop de whoop, poop scoop. It's so bizarre.
I mean,
The thing is that, like, I really like this song, but I just, like, I kind of hope the rest of his albums that he's releasing are like that.
Well, he just came out with
Just
another
so that
song
everyone's gonna-
like a few hours afterwards. With
Yeah.
T.I. I haven't listened to it
I
yet.
haven't listened to that one yet, but
Live reaction
I'll-
right now, guys.
I saw a comment on the Kanye subreddit that was like, this new album is really going to be Speeding Bullet too, right?
Oh God, no. For anybody-
all
Oh man.
I know is that everything's so goddamn ass backwards that at this point, I don't really know where we are. And it would be
Can
nice
we bring the
to
dinosaurs back?
Yeah, I've said this before. I think it was on the podcast, but at this point, I kind of just want to see how crazy we can get with everything.
Did you guys hear Elon Musk wants to make a cybernetic dragon?
Yeah.
know. Yes, but whatever, Elon. Get us the fucking Wi-Fi first. Like, it's like he's like being the dad who's like, I'm gonna install a bowling alley in the garage, and it's like, Dad, install the ceiling fan first, you fucking asshole.
Uninstall
You know what
that
I mean?
Alcohol, please. Dad, please.
Install that alcohol, goddammit. The metaphor
Can
works
you
if you think
install
about
love
it.
for me, please?
My favorite part about it is that someone brought up there, like, he did not say cybernetic or android. He said cyborg, which begs the question that it's going to have some sort of organic composition, as well as mechanical.
Kanye said on Twitter that he and Trump both have that dragon energy.
Hell yeah, bro.
So,
Dragon energy.
Is it going to be a hybrid of Kanye, Trump, and machine?
I kind of hope so.
Did you see people questioning that dragon energy stuff? People were like, "Is he talking about this ancient? I forget what, like some like Asian culture references or something like that." And then he's like, "Or is he talking about the KKK dragons that are?"
He's talking about Pokemon cards, guys.
Or did he literally just say the word dragon and then everybody ascribed meaning to it?
No, he's been watching Arrow, and he really likes the Richard Dragon character.
I wouldn't be surprised if it's like a Asian reference, because he's a huge weeaboo, apparently.
Well, I mean,
Kanye?
The graduation artwork is by Takashi Murakami, who's Japanese.
He had one of my favorite Kanye West tweets was like, I just watched this YouTube video, top 10 anime movies, and they had Spirited Away above Akira bullshit or something like that.
How have I never seen this tweet in my life?
It's so
I've
good.
seen that one, yeah.
But then, moving forward a bit in the week, apparently North and South Korea doing peace talks.
When did this become a shitty fucking news?
Is this a political
Hey,
podcast?
listen,
We went from
it's only
true crime.
political.
We went from
'cause
true crime to pop culture to now political.
it's been a week,
It has
and
been.
all of this stuff has happened, and I am 3 energy drinks in. It's like midnight. I'm just ranting at this point.
Well, but honey.
You guys are lucky I'm not talking about overpopulation.
Oh god.
Oh Jesus. Well, but honey, what I'm gonna say to you is that as somebody who has a really weird affinity for reading North Korean nonfiction, like I read just a bunch of books about like how North Korea operates and how they work, and like I don't even know what it was about. It was just like because it's weird because it's a hermit kingdom, so I was just like, what's going on? It would be great if everything turns out the way that they're saying. It'd be super, super fucking cool. And it definitely seems like there's more movement that's been happening recently. Super great. But last time we gave them the ability to cease like nuclear development in exchange for sanctions relief. Mm-hmm. They basically just were like, yeah, we'll do that, and then they didn't do it. And
yeah,
it's like it's a hermit kingdom. It's really fucking crazy. It's absolutely insane. So I don't buy anything positive or negative. I'm just like, as long as we're not in a huge fucking war or nuclear holocaust.
Nuclear apocalypse.
I'm like, just get back to me later.
Yeah, I definitely feel like we shouldn't be like we're not in the clear yet.
Yeah, it's too soon to be optimistic or like pessimistic. It's just like it's a real weird, fucked up situation.
Have you ever seen that picture that someone took in North Korea where it's just like it's like a roller coaster track and there are just people standing on it?
Yeah,
no.
That's so weird.
Well, they're very big on performance, but then like there was like one book that I read that was like Escape from Camp 14, which was like about a guy who grew up in one of the labor camps, like the forced like gulag type like labor camps. He never knew like a life outside of prison. He was born between two prisoners, and it was like absolutely crazy. And then I read another one that was about like a journalist who posed as a Christian missionary who went there to pose as a teacher. So it was like 2 layers of deception. And she was trying to figure out if like the like North Korean elite like were being brainwashed or whether they believed it or whether they didn't. And the answer is like fucking super complicated. But
all of the above.
Yeah, it's a lot.
It's crazy. I definitely feel like it's going to be one of those things where in like 50 or 60 years, people are looking back in it and they're like, why didn't you do anything at the time when all these details are going to come out of how harsh living conditions were and stuff?
Oh, the prison camps are insane. Like, yeah. It was like, because if you get sent to prison, then not just you, but your mom, your dad, your grandparents. It's like 2 generations all get sent to prison, which is how they maintain control.
And there's also like, they have like the fake subway system where they have actors that just like pretend like they're going places and they'll just like run into the subway system, like do a loop around behind this thing and then like come back out later.
Same with the fake grocery stores and like, it's a
like,
weird mess.
It's a thing.
It's like the Truman Show, except horrible.
Yeah, except totalitarian.
Yeah, except not living conditionable.
Yeah, like nothing's real, everything's set up.
Yeah.
So weird.
But like, fingers crossed. Like anything like if something, if any of this was in any fraction of the sense genuine, then like great. Like, don't care that it happened under Trump. Like, just anything would be good. Like, what's good for the world is good for the world, you know? But, yeah. No.
You know what would be good for the world?
What's that?
There are less people in it.
Oh my god.
Wow. We went
Yeah,
back...
the context behind that is that Jacob earlier was on the overpopulation subreddit.
No.
And it was something.
It's like...
There was a lot there.
I'm gonna...
And it was...
I've talked about overpopulation before on the podcast.
We've also talked about it in person.
Yeah, like, I understand that the world is overpopulated. I think that's a problem. But I don't really think there's anything we can do about it at this point.
Make Earth 2.
Yeah, like, move half of our people to Mars.
Well, that's what Elon's trying to do.
But
apparently Max.
All right, tell us
Max
a bit
wants
about
his goddamn internet at the ranch first.
I want my
Tell us a bit
goddamn
about the
internet at the ranch before Elon deals with this shit. I don't care about cyborg dragons. I don't care about going to Mars. Elon, give me a decent Wi-Fi with unlimited data. That's all I want. That's all I want. It's
all right,
not
Jacob,
too much to
tell
ask.
us a bit about the overpopulation subreddit. And then
Yes.
we'll call it. We've gone like way
We
over
have.
time.
yeah, like so I'm subscribed to r/overpopulation. I think it's kind of like an interesting point of view that you don't really hear too often. But it's like some of the people on the subreddit are just insane.
Why don't we kill everybody?
Yeah, it's like there have been a lot of posts on there about Thanos, and it's like, oh, we should do something like that.
I was gonna fucking
Just
say
kill
that's
half of
the
the
fucking
people.
plot to Infinity War. Like,
Spoilers.
Yeah, that's what they're saying. They're saying we should just kill
Spoilers.
half of people.
I mean, not really.
And then, what was another post? Oh, there was like something about mass shootings, right?
No, there was
Oh, yeah,
something
they're
about
saying,
mass
like-
shootings not happening if people aborted more babies.
Yeah, they said we should stop letting people get pregnant so that we can stop mass shootings. And then one of the a comment on it was, abortion is often the best option. This is what happens when you coerce women into reproduction.
What the fuck?
It's legitimately insane.
This is what people are spending their time discussing.
And it's
Jesus.
like,
Oh, I have one last thing to contribute.
Oh, well, I'm
oh
excited.
yeah,
I want to tell my argument story about the birds and the dinosaurs.
the birds and the. Is that what your parents told you when you were a kid?
Are we learning
up.
about where babies come from?
Oh, also, I just want to say this. That's also on the overpopulation subreddit. Apparently, there's a church of euthanasia, and their slogan is "Save the planet, kill yourself."
Jesus.
What the fuck?
That's actually a decent transition into the argument I was having. So I was on a forum the other day, and I was arguing with this guy because in certain fields of science, specifically phylogenetics and cladistics, birds are considered to be a type of dinosaur. I don't subscribe to that.
Mm-hmm.
I subscribe to the idea that birds are a descendant of dinosaurs. There's something different.
Unsubscribed.
In the grand scheme of things, taxonomy is not a real branch of science. It's just classifying stuff to make it easier for us to process. Anyways, I got into an argument with this guy about that exact thing. He was very much into the idea that birds were dinosaurs. I very much was not. And he makes this post, this really long-winded post, where he's just starting to make sense, talking about his whole point was basically, just because something becomes something else doesn't mean it stops being what it was before.
Yeah, if we're descended from apes, why are there still apes around?
and then he proceeds to tell me that because fish were pretty much the earliest vertebrates, that everything afterwards, specifically his example was cows, are fish, and then called me a fucking retard.
See, why do you think that when you get dumped, people say, "Oh, there are plenty of fish in the sea"? Because we're fish.
Because you were dating a cow. That's why, Carol.
Boom.
I was thinking of that. I was thinking of what Connor was saying.
I just dropped my mic.
Speaking of how I actually own 60 fish, and I love them a whole lot.
You're gonna put on a MAGA hat and shoot a fish in the head.
Yeah. And actually, if y'all haven't tried fish leather, it's pretty impressive, pretty dynamic.
Is that what the ladies are calling it these days?
Yeah, fish leather. I'm just like, come on over to my house.
Shout out to all the labias out there.
Shout out to all my leather out there.
Thank you, Nintendo.
Shout out to
Nintendo labia.
We love the Nintendo labia. We're all about it here. Do you need an outro for Comically Offensive? Because I think I can do one pretty good.
You're gonna do the outro?
I wanted
just
to
for
say
this one.
something
Just for this one.
I wanted to say something I just remembered.
First, Jacob, because he wants to extend this further.
Well, it's like 10 seconds. This morning, like the top of my mouth was like super swollen, and whenever I swallowed, my mouth would go into my throat.
What?
Good to know.
Yeah.
Max, outro?
It was like I was swallowing part of my mouth, and it felt weird.
What? Alrighty. Are you disintegrating? What the? Okay, we don't have time.
Yeah.
Thank you for joining comedy. Thank you for joining comedy of Fall. Thank you for joining Comically Offensive, the one and only true crime, politics, pop culture, and irreverent humor podcast that you've been so craving for. This has been Max.
A little bit of everything.
All those
I'm Jacob.
Thanks for watching, everybody. That's Austin.
Yeah.
And who's the other guy?
I don't know, some homeless guy we picked up.
Yeah.
Yeah, some real fucking weirdo.
He does corner bits every now and then.
Well, let's end it with some ASMR. Good night, everybody. It was so great to see you.
Like and subscribe.
Follow me on YouTube.
Oh,
Find my friends.
Fake breasts.
Pay for my fake titties on Patreon. I love you. Bye.
Lick my tank, girl.
Pretend I'm your girlfriend.
All right. Goodbye, everyone.
I'm actually your father. Bye.
I want that labia.